welcome everyone to another week of the Focus TV. We got Cardo Dudley Jr., got Raymond Lyons and Wilson Turpay Jr. Octavia will return next week. In terms of what we got tonight, welcome to season 5, episode 36 of the Focus TV. Going to talk some Kenner League. We got some Mystics, update you guys on DC United. And then, as always, there's going to be some Wizards Summer League wrap up and then rapid fire, which should be fun because people continue to act nuts in sports, regardless of which sport it is. Ray, we'll start with you with the Mystics. What you got for us?
Yeah, man. Mystics coming off a win on Sunday against the Minnesota Lynx. They won 70-57. You can tell by that final score that their defense led the way. The highest scoring output the Lynx had in the quarter was 17. So, I mean, if you're scoring 57 points, it's hard to beat anybody. On the Mystics side, their offense had pretty much like the entire season was just kind of up and down during the game, but they had enough stretches where where they were able to to establish a healthy enough lead, and with the way they were playing defense, it was it was hard for the Lynx to walk them down. They led by as much as 19 at one point, so that just tells you how the game went. Man, for the Mystics, the season's winding down. They're heading into into playoff territory. They're currently sitting at fifth place. That's more than likely that's where they're finished. They're about a game and a half behind Connecticut, who's in fourth right now. Counting on everybody to keep pace, they'll probably keep their position at fifth. But the main thing for them, Elena Deladon is looking healthier and healthier every time she steps on the court. So that's, of course, when your best player starts to round the shape at the end of the season, that's typically a good sign, man. So they're just gearing up for that playoff push, and they've been extremely patient and extremely diligent with the process with getting her back to 100%, and that just kind of speaks to the quality of the organization. Man, it's been almost a 3-year process to get her back to where she needs to be, but yeah, man, we're just looking forward to them heading down the stretch of the season, seeing what they can do in the playoffs.
All right, Cardo, we had another weekend with the Kenner League of Kenner League action. So who'd you have? I mean, I already know the answer because I got to cheat and see the graphic, but who you want to talk to the people about this week in terms of who stood out?
Yeah, every week, obviously, we do a list of standouts, top 5 players from that week. Before I get started with that, I'm just going to update everyone on the standings because it's 3 weeks in, and a lot of games are under a lot of teams' belt. Right now, first place is Clives at 4-1. Papa is 3-1, second place. Hoya Blue is 3-1, right behind Papa. Toombs is 3-1. We're playing the All-Stars coming in 5th, 3-1. Call Your Mother is 3-2 and 6. Higher Levels 3-2 and 7. A Washington Associates 8th, 1-2. Brain Skills and Guts are 1-3. The Bulldogs are 1-3. Hoop Magic 0-3, and On Point is 0-5. Shot making. That's what it comes down to, consistency, and that's what you're starting to see with the top teams from the teams that are struggling. Consistency with their roster and consistency with roles, and no one, to me, has been more consistent in this league than Will Thomas, who plays for Morgan State, plays in the Kenner League for the Toons. Another 20-plus point performance. He finished with 23 points and 84-75 win over the Bulldogs. He's one guy just talking with, scouting friends. I'm like, you got to keep an eye on him next season. I think he's that good to warrant a look. If not the NBA, possibly for dang sure the G League. He's that consistent. It's not just the way he's scoring and how he's picking his spots. It's the efficiency and how he's scoring. I just can't think of anybody that's been more consistent, man. That's a testament to him. That's the separation and the level of players in any league, any level. It's the consistency and how you produce at a high level. And right now, he's playing outstanding, man. And the thing I love about him is the way he plays with a seriousness, but it blends in with a fun. Like you can tell he loves the game. Like he could stay all day in the gym and work, and it's contagious, man. It shows in this play, in the Kenner League, man. And also, defensively. I think he, at 6'5" with his length, he might need to get a little stronger. I think he'll be able to guard multiple positions at the next level. So, it's just about him just putting his mind to it this upcoming season and just deciding I'm going to win MEAC Player of the Year and I'm going to be one of the best players in college basketball. If he does that, not only will Morgan State be better off for it, but we'll be hearing a lot about him at the NBA level. Again, the opportunity and whatnot, but he's just been outstanding. Next up is Devontae Gaines, 6'7" wing out of George Mason, plays for higher level. Monster game, 26 points, 15 rebounds. He was 5-9 from deep in a 68-53 win for higher level. He just bombed them. But the thing is, he's thin, so a lot of teams feel like, they could put smaller guards on him and they can just use their quickness to keep him out the paint because he's known for being a slasher. He's long and athletic. They could put guard to kind of match up with his quickness, and with him being so thin, maybe strength-wise, they can get over. Now, if he raises up and shoot at 6'7", it's not really much they could do, but, it's the lesser two evils where if you kind of put if you don't have the wings to deal with that, the wings with the athleticism to deal with him or skill on the defensive end, dang sure bigs can't guard him, then, you're no man's land, but it didn't matter, man. He just went to the block and punished those little guards, got to the free throw line, and they realized immediately that he wasn't just a guy that was going to live on the perimeter. He knows how to play the game, and they had to make adjustments, but it didn't matter. He still kept scoring, but 15 rebounds, that's different. That's you putting in work. You was locked in, and he did, man. And that's what made a lot of his points possible, man. He had the ball already in his hands. Teams running back, not communicating on defense, and oftentimes he had a mismatch which he exploited, man. So I'm not shocked about Gaines. Obviously covering GW, see him all the time. George Mason, he's a transfer from Tennessee, saw him a lot last year. I'm pretty sure out here see him a lot this upcoming season. So, this is just testament to the work he's put in and how talented he is. So I'm not shocked by this level of production at all. Noel Brown, out of higher level, out of GW, plays for higher level, 19 points and 8 rebounds, 7 to 10 from the field. He used the balance for higher level in their win. Devontae Gaines was getting it done mostly from the outside, even though when he had smaller guards, he didn't hesitate. He went down to the paint and punished smaller guards. Noel Brown was the balance as far as you could throw it in the post and he was going to work. Offensive rebounds, going right back up, hitting free throws. He's gotten a lot better at using his handle, not necessarily to face up and try to mix bigs or whatever, like he may see on TV, got brainwashed and trying to do on TV. No, he's fundamentally sound. He uses his body to shield the defender, takes his time with the dribble and gets to his spots and then elevates and tries to, score. And he was efficient scoring. He's 7 to 10. He played like how big man should play inside and, just 5 feet in there. It's really not that difficult. And when the fouls piled up and his trips to the free throw lines piled up, now you got to come with doubles. And with the way Gaines was shooting the ball, it was a bad recipe, man. So, that combination was deadly, man. I'm happy to see his improvement. It's just a matter of him bringing it in the next season and added another dimension to what GW's trying to do under new coach Chris Caputo. Jane Grant McClendon All-Stars Pro, seeing him, he played for the Wizards, Go-Go, a couple other teams in the NBA. He made it look easy, man. He 18 points, but it was the way he scored. 6 to 8 from the field, 2 for 4 from 3. In the 74-58 win over Hoop Magic. Man, even look, he made tough shots. He made it look easy, and that just goes to show you the fine line between him, who's fighting to try to get back in the league, sticking in the league, kind of as a fringe guy, G League guy, and how he's destroying the top college players, in the area, and basically showing them that it's another level that y'all got to get to. He made it look easy, man. Tough fadeaways, one dribble pull-ups, 3-pointers, transition. Really no one on Hoop Magic could guard him, man. And once he set the tone, the rest of the team just followed. It was just a matter of not turning the ball over, beating themselves. And that's how they walked out of there with a win. But it was good to see him, shining, so to speak. And last but not least, Devon Cooper. I normally don't highlight players on losing teams, but he needed to be highlighted. He wasn't the reason why his team lost. Plays for George Mason, brain, skills, and guts. Transfer from Morehead State. 33 points and 7 threes. It was clear what he came to do. He came to torch somebody. And those shots got up early and often. He had I think what was he 7-12 from 3 overall. Even though his team lost, they just got sloppy in the second half, man. But it wasn't because of him. And this is what happens in some league. He was going off, and other guys would say he's hot. Now they got to get theirs, and it quickly falls apart, man. That's pretty much what happened, man. He kept them in the game for the most part, but guys saw that clock ticking, and they're like, I gotta get mine, man. You know what I'm saying? I can't be in a column with like 5 points, and this dude got like 40 or 50, man. But he should have, for them to win, he should have easily had 40 plus if they were really thinking about winning, because he was that hot, man. He was bombing from everywhere, and he's shifty, man. He got a nice shifty handle. He can get you off the bounce and get to the paint and score. Legit 6'4". He's not a small guard, so he's a tough matchup for a lot of guys with his experience and whatnot and the skill. So, transfer, George Mason. I'm eager to see how they blend all that with the guards that they got coming in and the guards that have improved from last season, this upcoming season. But man, if he's shooting the ball like he did on Sunday, man, the A10 is in trouble, man. So those are standouts from the Kenner League for week 3.
Yeah, he left some on the table too, because some of those misses were clean looks. He again put on the show for sure. I definitely enjoyed my first time up there this week. I can't wait for next time I get to go back. But yeah, what was it? Toombs, and I know I kept saying it to you while we were up there, Cardell. The 3 guards aren't fair.
Primo, Brandon Murray, Will Thomas, they. Yeah, the brothers can put the ball in the basket. Like, you got 3 dudes that can legit average 20 apiece, man. In the summer league with a running clock, that's tough to beat. And you gotta pick your poison on who you trying to stop. When most guys are, let's just say, for a lot of players these days, defense is optional in their mind. So when you got those 3-level dudes, those high-level scorer dudes, man, they got it going. Hey, man, long night.
For sure. Gonna take our first break of the night. When we get back, some updates with DC United. You watching the Focus TV? Welcome back to the Focus TV. As promised, DC United has been kind of busy. This is the last time we spoke to you all. They played 2 games. The first of which, 2-2 draw against the Columbus Crew. And that took place at home at Audi Field on the 13th. They gave up the first goal in the 62nd minute, but we responded in the 80th minute thanks to a score by Taxi Founces. Surprise, surprise, right? Hernandez Suarez would score his second goal of the game for the Crew literally a minute later to give his team, the home side in this matchup, a 2-1 lead. Ola Kamara would provide the equalizer in the first minute of stoppage time. It was 4 minutes of stoppage time. It was a great time. It's always a perfect time for equalizer, especially if you're the road team, especially if you're trailing. While, stoppage time is so it depends on the ref. They could say 4 minutes, and sometimes they go by the clock. Other times, 4 minutes feels like 2 minutes. Sometimes 4 minutes could be 8 minutes. Regardless, DC United got a point out of a game in which they trailed early on. For the second matchup, they struggled. They fell on the road 2-0 in Minnesota, courtesy of a brace from Emmanuel Reynoso. DC United did not have the services of either of their goal scorers from the first match. They were definitely missed. Clearly, the team's in a state of flux. Last time, or state of transition. Last time we talked about Rooney just being hired as a coach and how he hasn't been able to coach yet because of paperwork with his visa or whatnot. Also in the secondary transfer window. So in this season, it's been like 3 separate seasons in one, and we're literally just starting the third part of their season, in which you have the players that you wanted to add for Lasada. Lasada wasn't here for all the players. Taxi got here after Lasada was let go. The interim coach, Chad Ashton, was here. Then you hire Rooney. And now you're in the middle of the second transfer window, and moves are still being made. So one of the things that did happen last week, DC United acquired up to $900,000 in general allocated monies for the Vancouver Whitecaps. They sent them wingback Julian Gressel. There's been some stuff this week about how that deal went down in terms of communication or lack thereof between the club and Gressel upon him being traded. Regardless of that, they open that's $900,000 of space, right? You open that up for a reason. Clearly, they should be adding someone. It was reported by Tom Bogert and then confirmed by Pablo Maurer that DC United has agreed to acquire forward Miguel Berry from the Columbus Crew. Is yet to be officially announced. That is a signing that could be announced later this week. The Athletic has also reported that DC is interested in Ravel Morrison, who played under Wayne Rooney during his stint as a manager at Derby County. So again, with the secondary transfer window open, we're going to get a chance to see how DC United plans to shape the roster under Rooney in the hopes that they can still make a run this season. Obviously, the time is ticking. Told you guys what they look like at the standings. They're looking up at a bunch of teams at the moment. Wednesday, they'll play a friendly with Bundesliga powerhouse Bayern Munich, which should be fun for all in attendance. As for MLS play goes, the Black and Red will host CF Montreal on Saturday night at Audi. We're going to take our second break. When we get back, Cardell's going to talk to you guys a little bit to wrap up Summer League for the Wizards. You're watching the Focus TV. Welcome back to the Focus TV. Cardell, what you got for us as far as the Wizards Summer League go?
Yeah, Washington finished 3-2 in Summer League play after defeating Golden State Warriors 87-77 on Sunday. Washington put off a nice comeback in full quarter behind some tenacious defense, which is a great sign because that's the area that they've been lacking for the last few years. The Wizards, after trailing 69-61 at the end of the third, held the Warriors to 8 points in the fourth while scoring 26 points to end Summer League on a very high note. Jamie Echinike was dominant inside with 19 points and 12 rebounds, winning his matchup with James Wiseman. Quinn Jackson, the rookie guard at Texas A&M, was huge off the bench. He had 18 points, while Devon Dawson added 11 points and 5 rebounds. The Warriors were led by Mac McClung, who finished with 14 points and 6 assists. Lester Quinones out of Memphis added 13 points and 4 rebounds. Wiseman posted 11 points, 6 rebounds. And I wanted to throw a special shout out to former Prince George's County Community College and Maryland player, Alex Morales, who finished with 10 points and 4 rebounds for the Warriors, just to see him grow from that stage. And I was seeing him hit the game winner to knock off the top seed in the conference in the Maryland JUCO tournament. Then they pull out the Maryland JUCO win, man, and he get on the radar for Division I guys and Division I programs. And, he had to sit out a year to, for personal reasons, had a kid, had to maintain his eligibility while getting his personal life in order so he could focus on basketball. Came back the next year, won Maryland JUCO Player of the Year, damn near averaged a triple-double, go to Wagner, rewrite the history books, now get an opportunity to play for the World Champs in Summer League and show that he's at least worthy, at least being on the G League team somewhere, and if not a two-way where he can get some shine up in the NBA. Just shows, man, how much of a dog he is, man. He played at Portsmouth. He played well. Always been a fan of his. Always loved his grind. Always loved the fact that he stuck with it. And he's a perfect example of what JUCO can do for you if you focus and you stay locked in on where you're trying to go and not the circumstances what other people say, man. So, special shout out to him. Also in this game, rookie guard Jordan Davis, he did not play in this game. They set him out. So that's the reason why you ain't really hear me talk about him. But nonetheless, Washington finished 3-2 and finished with a win.
All right, as we move on to rapid fire.
Yeah, we're going to start off on the NFL. The Kansas City Chiefs and left tackle Orlando Brown Jr. failed to reach an agreement on a long-term deal before Friday's 4 p.m. deadline, leaving the blindside protector for quarterback Patrick Mahomes playing on a franchise tag this season. The Chiefs' final offer to Brown was a 6-year, $139 million deal that included $30 million signing bonus and $95 million in the first 5 years of the contract. A source familiar with the offer told ESPN. Though the two sides did not come to an agreement, both parties say they are hoping for a new deal after the season. Brown this season will earn a little under $17 million on the franchise tag, which represents the average of the top 5 salaries at his position. So just what are your thoughts on, Chiefs maybe playing with fire a little bit? Start with you, Ray.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely playing with fire. When you can, you might want to make sure that your most precious commodity is protected. Uh, we don't know how this situation is playing out mentally for Brown. Um, you want the guy protecting your quarterback's blind side all the way bought in and all the way there. Plain and simple, man. And it's not like he's not worth the money. Like I don't understand this. Like teams penny pinching and doing all this kind of stuff. Yeah, like don't let that production dip and it leaves Mahomes vulnerable. So, I mean that would hurt Brown as well when it comes time to come back to the negotiation table. But yeah, that could turn into something. So, I mean, like if it's me and I'm in a position of ownership, and I got a guy that's obviously an integral part of my team's success, I'm gonna just do what I can to make him happy. Like you don't want a disgruntled employee at a at a pivotal part of your franchise. That's just where I'm at with it, man. And that kind of goes across all sports and all jobs, really. Like you got to take care of the people that are helping you be successful.
All right, Wilson.
Yeah, I think you said it perfectly. We talk about are they playing with fire? Like it's become a recent trend for them. Honestly, like we know when they traded for Orlando Brown, part of the reason you traded for him is kind of the nod and wink was the expectation was you'd sign him to a long term deal once you traded for him from Baltimore, right? Um, Obviously, the thing for organizations that they have in their favor in the NFL is you do have the franchise tag. You franchise folks a couple of times. But it's a better practice, as Ray said, to just extend folks, give them their money, pay them what they're worth. I think Orlando Brown is like, he's still ascending. Pat is still young. Why not make sure his blind side is locked up? Secondly, you saw you lost Tyreek Hill this offseason, right? Due to him, not feeling like he wasn't able to get as much money as he was worth there, right? Okay, cool. One of the people that you let hit free agency to try to keep Tyreek Hill was Charvarius Ward, who was your previous number one corner, who got signed to free agency. So you let somebody go to take care of somebody else. Now you lost two people, and then the third person who you definitely should have money for, you're in a franchise tag situation. Like Cardell said, you're just playing with fire. Like you already going through, luckily Kelsey is still there, but after Kelsey, like you're going through a new wide receiving core, right? Why not make sure that the one thing Pat knows for sure is he's protected? So I just think you said it perfectly. They're playing with fire, and I feel like it was avoidable.
Well, as a Broncos fan, I'm very happy that they're playing with fire. By all means, don't sign this guy, piss him off, and he leave. I would love for the blind side to be open. I don't want to hurt him. I don't want to see no athlete get hurt. But, if he just so happens he's knocked out of a game, I mean, things happen in the NFL. That's all I'm saying. Things happen, and that helps my team be in a better position to win. So that's all it is. But no, in all seriousness, man, it's funny how these suits don't value certain things that's very pivotal to the success of their team. Especially when they probably never gotten tackled. No, let's scratch that. Never got hit and you didn't see it coming. You get Goldberg speared from your blind side. Those hits make you just rethink, like, man, is this really for me? You know what I mean? Maybe I should just take this money and go on. And one of those hits, if it's good enough, can end everything. So yeah. Matter of fact, then back in the day, Troy Aikman, Lamar Arrington, did he come from his blind side, run him down, hit him out of bounds, and he had another concussion that returned? Was that how that went down? I know he hit him, but didn't he come from his blind side on the blitz?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
He ran him down. Troy Aikman saw him late, was trying to run away, and they caught up with him. They tackled him. They flew out of bounds, and that was it. I mean, look, Arrington was a grown man. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know why they playing these games, though. I gotta see the schedule. I don't know what they playing, but what if you play against Aaron Donald or somebody, though, or Vaughn? I mean, Vaughn, like you don't want those guys hunting you down, though, from the blind side, and they love to go hunting. So, but like I said, yeah, keep making mistakes, Chiefs. You got that one guy out of there that we could not do nothing with. So, hey, by all means, continue. We're gonna move to the NBA. Very interesting comment from Goran Dragic. He says the success of Jokic and Doncic bothers Americans focused on pure athleticism. In an interview with Bulgarian-based sports site Sportal, uh, Goran Dragic said his talking about Jokic IQ is such that he's messing with him there. Americans are pushing their way forward through marketing, and that's all normal. But when you put everything on the floor, it's a different story. Jokic is not fast. He doesn't jump, and that gets up their noses. How can a man play like this? They, NBA players, are all in good shape. You need to have 6% body fat. You need to jump. And I think it gets on their nerves. How can Jokic and Luka play like this? Just what are your thoughts on this, Wilson? I kind of have mine, but I'm going to let you go. Y'all go first.
Hey, man, Goran did it so I wouldn't have to. This is why all these stupid comments about evolution are irrelevant. That boy came over here and was like it was easy. And he never lied. He came in as a rookie and was like, oh, man, it's way easier. Less men here, essentially, is what he told y'all as a league. And none of y'all have been able to do anything about it physically. That's essentially what he told y'all. You had Jokic come in off the butter bean and then transform his body. Goran didn't lie. And honestly, like, let's think about it. Like, even go digging into the marketing thing, where everyone's like, oh, man, the league's in great hands if people focus on the basketball. But we're focused on everything else but that. Like, there's a reason some folks with non-American names have been – the MVP trophy has been held hostage, and it might not come back to this soil, okay? It really might not. Be real honest. It might not. And y'all are going to have to just get over it because you're going out your way to disrespect it. And meanwhile, they've mastered the actual game. That's what's happening here. They kept the main thing. They're still making money. Like, we saw what Joker just signed for, right? So think about what Joker just signed for. What you think? Mark Cuban already getting bread together for Luka. Just whatever he wants. But think about how they approach the game. It's not a whole bunch of noise or nothing. They just hoop. And they're mastering their craft. And people making these lists and leaving people's names out of leaving people's names out of the best players in the league. Meanwhile, we saw Joker drag a team into the playoffs. We watched Luka out here so far, very young career. Has he looked like he's had an issue handling his business? And he still has. We haven't seen him in tip-top shape yet. And I'm not even going to name the other dude who everybody has Giannis flu, where you just accidentally forget his name. It's like Candyman or something with him. Like, you're very aware of who he is, what he does to your team, what he does to your favorite player, but you just, I forgot to mention him when we're making our list. Like, y'all, yeah, he made a point. So shout out Goran Dragic, man. He did not tell one lie.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, Wilson said it all. Like, the emphasis on how much athletic the league is and why players from previous eras would struggle because of their athleticism. Like, some of the best players are not that athletic. So I don't understand why that's such a big thing. But yeah, it just goes to show like what people are valuing in regards to basketball, and it starts at a very young age, and it's damaging the game, to be perfectly honest. Fundamentals are not being really hammered in. If you get a kid that's athletic and can shoot threes, then they carry that as far as it can go and don't really teach anything of substance. And we're seeing it at every level, especially people not playing defense at the highest level of basketball. Like, that's embarrassing. So, yeah, man, like I'm glad he said it. I'm glad an NBA player said it. So people can go argue with him. Don't even listen to what I'm saying. Go argue with the guy that's been in the league. How long Jogger been in the league? Like 15 years now.
Something like that, yeah.
So yeah, go argue with him. And if you think you know more than him, then that just speaks to your ignorance. But yeah, I hope that people start to see this and and then just get it into their minds that at the end of the day, you gotta have IQ, you gotta have poise. Like all these 15 dribble combos is not where it's at. But yeah, they just gonna keep doing what they're doing. And anybody can say whatever they want, but the results speak for themselves. Like Wilson said, man, dude came over here as a teenager and said it was easy, and it has only gotten worse since then. Like I understand he's great, but have some pride. Like, and it's looked easy ever since. Like, and then what compounds that is when we get into international play and we see the struggles there. It just kind of speaks to what Goran said in the interview and what Luka said. It's tougher to score in that style, but the main emphasis in the NBA now is scoring. But like at what cost? Like they've created all these new rules to make it easier. Like, but then when you get in an environment where it ain't that easy, then what? We even see it in the NBA. Once we get in the playoffs, and the refs kind of let stuff go a little bit. Like we seen this season when they changed the rules, to allow people to play defense a little bit more physically. Like a lot of people didn't look the same. So I don't know, man. If it's just me, I'll be quiet. But it looked like some people need to go back to the drawing board.
Um, I agree to a certain extent, but he can't say all international. It's because Giannis got the ring. You know what I'm saying? Before both of them, man, he's fairly athletic. You know what I'm saying? But he's skilled too. You know what I'm saying? So, um, but that's what I've always said. You can't just get by on athleticism. Don't get me wrong; it helps, but you still got to learn how to play the game of basketball. Have fundamentals. It's always going to come down to that, and have a high IQ and whatnot. The difference is when you combine that with some elite athleticism, that's when you get them Jordans, you get those, the LeBrons, you get them guys that, they just hard to slow down. One man can just destroy a whole team and consistently. So that's what that is, the Wilts, just a combination of all that, so, but I love what he said, he's right. I've never been on a train. A lot of people want to just favor Embiid. Some people are just doing it because he's a brother. Some people are doing it because they might be cool with him. Some people are doing it because he plays a style that we like more. He's more flashy and athletically more, I guess, pleasing to watch for most fans. And that's no disrespect to Embiid. He a bad boy, for sure. But I always say Jokic was better because it ain't too many players in the history of the game that can destroy you and not really score a point. Like scares the hell out of you from the pass. Like I will always forever remember that damn pass against San Antonio and how not only he stunned the Spurs, like Michael Porter Jr. caught the ball and fumbled that one because he was just like it's like what Ray Allen said about Jason Kidd. Like he made me open when I wasn't even open. Like there's very few players that could do that. The Magics, the Jason Kidds, the Stocktons, elite passes where they just, you ain't open, but boom, and it throws the defense off to the point where it's like, damn, I am open. Oh shoot, he's dangerous, but he can still shoot the three. He can still handle the ball, be a point forward. He can still punish you on the block because he's a big body. You know what I'm saying? He understands how to maximize what he has. That's what people don't understand what basketball is all about. Bill Russell said it best. It's not what you have, it's what you do with what you have. You know what I'm saying? Larry Bird is a great example, similar to Luka. Larry wasn't the more like, look, man, if you watch him Dominique play, you say Dominique is way better than Bird. Just like not playing against each other. You saw Dominique play one game, have a workout, you're like, oh yeah, he's better. Bird, oh no. But when they matched up, Bird made it a career to torch this boy, to destroy this boy. Like you're not going to ever be on my level. career high, had his own team laughing at him, falling off the bench. That goes to show you it's a lot more to this game and being a great player than a bunch of crossovers going and dunk. And we sound like old heads saying that, but it's true. You're just not going to be able to do that against good teams. They're not going to allow you, though. And you have to rely on your IQ and really test to see how much of a skill you have and your poise and toughness. Really, your mental toughness. You see what I'm saying? Because they're going to win. They're going to give stops on you. Are you going to fade away? You're going to go from stuff that you know can work, or you're going to keep trying to fight and execute. And that's what you see with our team. That's why they fade out. There's a reason why the Warriors said against Boston in the finals, even though they were down 2-1, they said, we got them. We figured them out. And they were saying that at the end, like, we got them. We figured them out. And the thing they did that no one still talks about is they just trapped Marcus Smart and made Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown be playmakers. And them turnovers racked up. And when those turnovers racked up, they got out and ran on top of stuff going on. Wiggins and Clay, the threat, man, the boys, the way they was going, they played right into the Warriors' hands, and Boston never won another game. Look, man, like it's not hard, man. Look, I feel like Jokic is the best center in the game. Giannis is the best player. And Luka, for like Wilson said, he could very well be the MVP next year. I see he lost weight. Same thing like Jokic. He lost weight. And, dog, a more durable, slim Luka. Lord, come on, man. Like, y'all trying to get something, your boy. It's like, dog, it's the reason why I've been calling him Larry Legend Jr. from day one. And, I mean, dog, look what he did to Devin Booker, the reigning Western Conference champs last year. After they was talking all that trash at home, he was like, yeah, it's easy to talk trash when you up. Like, he was carrying it, walking from the loss, got the hell beat out of him, talking trash, like, we'll see. And he showing them, and he destroyed them, like, embarrassing, dog. Got people looking at Chris Paul, like Chris Paul being awfully quiet. That's a clear sign of the ass whooping Luka delivered, dog. It's just sometimes as a competitor, man, you just gotta be quiet. You can't even say nothing. You just gotta take that on the chin because he got destroyed. You ain't heard much from Devin Booker either. Outside, he got re-signed. Those are some bad months that they're in the league, man. And the thing is, there is more coming. Like the kid in France, the 7-2 kid. Lord Jesus. Come on now. That's Rudy Gobert with offense, though. Like, it's scary. It's scary. And yeah, you're gonna see a whole lot of teams take. If they lose about December, they're gonna start tanking for this kid. You feel what I'm saying? Like Chet, everybody talking about Chet, he's a unicorn. I saw him win, whatever his name is.
Wembanyama, yeah.
Wembanyama, he destroyed Chet. And he a youngin', like he should be in high school. Destroyed him. People don't want to admit it, man, but overseas is more physical than the NBA. The NBA changed the rules, and that's why I'm saying don't tell me this era is better when the resistance is a whole lot weaker. How can it be better if the resistance ain't the same? You know what I mean? And we all know this. When you grow up in the neighborhood or whatnot, look, it's one thing to play organized basketball, but you got to go in the hood to really see if you tough. Just like if you growing up in the hood, you tough and all that, you got to go play in the burbs and play organized basketball to see if you really understand how to play basketball. And both sides, it's players that come from those environments, a lot of times they struggle because it's such a hell of an adjustment. But the top players can thrive in all those environments, man. So, look, he said it like he said. I agree with him to a certain extent. He can't say everybody because obviously Giannis, you can even say Embiid to a certain point because he's not from here, even though he went to high school here. It's a lot of foreigners that's just doing work, man. But for the most part, I get what he's saying, man. And yeah, they don't like it, but then again, they don't like Giannis either. It just seems to be something. They just don't like anybody who don't like it, who ain't buddy with them and who bust their ass. That's really what it is, man. So they need to continue to do them. They've been having success, so I'm not mad at it at all. Another story, and this on baseball side, so you know it gotta be crazy. I just I want to hear your thoughts on it. Here in DC, the Nationals, Juan Soto. Oh man, he recently turned on a 15-year, $440 million contract from the Nationals. So the Nationals are reportedly seeking trade options. I'm just gonna get past the fact he turned down $440 million, dog. So I just want to hear y'all thoughts on this, man. Wilson, go ahead, dog. Lord,
oh man, that offer baseball wise, what they try to do, it's so disrespectful. And this is why he's going to be a Yankee in like a year. You don't deserve him. So disrespectful. You took that money and the money at a whole. That's how they try to frame it. Like, oh, it's $440 million. How do you walk away from that? Well, when you make it a 15-year deal, you do a little bit of math. You talk about what he's getting per year. You offended him deeply. That's a $35 million per year player. He's in that range. Maybe not 40, but 35. Already got a chip in his belt. Dude's like 23 years old. And you out here trying to give him 29 mil? Cool. There's no salary cap. Let somebody who likes spending money have him. I can't wait till he's a Yankee. That's what y'all get. Just be bad. You deserve things like that. I'm sorry. I'll say it out loud. I'm glad that he was at the home run derby. Maybe get a chance to meet some of his future teammates, because that's just absurd. Like, you won a chip, you fumbled afterwards, and then you don't pay one of the best young prospects in the. I can't wait. I just want to know what number he's gonna wear. Maybe that'll be the next Yankee jersey I get. I haven't got one in like 15, 20 years. But you deserve that, DC. That is a disrespectful offer. I saw a whole bunch of fans like, it's $440 million, 15 years.
His career.
Oh, come on now.
Oh, and y'all got competition. You know, Magic up there. Oh, Soto time. You know,
hey, look, and I'm not mad at him. All I'm saying is National fans, I hope y'all get ready. He's going to be in a different uniform because y'all want to be disrespectful. There's no salary cap. Some people in baseball, this is rainy day money. They've been waiting for somebody to fumble a young prospect, because that means I didn't have to grow on myself. Who cares if I give you prospects? Here's $50 million a year. Who cares? Who cares? You think the Yankees been built off developing? Man, get out of here, dog.
Look, bro.
They developed their checkbook. That's it.
We know how powerful the Yankees are. I mean, they help Kyrie play. So that's the pool they got.
Hey, look, they was
that can last until we started. We're gonna cut all that out. Aaron Judge ain't sitting. We ain't playing that. And Mayor was right there. Kyrie, welcome back, buddy.
Hey, they said we get all our money. We get all our games out of Aaron Judge. We gonna have no issues here. He gonna show up for work. I don't care about y'all mandate.
And none of the media said a word. They just Don stuff, brother. Like Don moves. But Ray, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, like I don't follow baseball as closely as other sports, but what has been sticking out to me is Nationals been losing a lot of talent since they won the World Series. So I guess this their MO. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like, more power to whoever's making those decisions, but you just doing stupid things for the purpose of doing stupid things. Like, you have to know that he's not gonna sign that. So either you think he's stupid or you're just being blatantly disrespectful. Either way, that's going to lead to the young man playing for somebody else. Like, so I don't get it, man. Like, that's got to be some type of malpractice, because I just don't understand, especially in the sport with no salary cap. Like, do what you got to do to keep them. But you know, whatever. It's they gonna cash their check either way. So whatever, man.
The thing about franchises like this that make moves, the arrogance after they win is sometimes just beyond me. Where they feel like we'll be right back there in a couple of years. He's just one player. It's like, how many examples do you need to understand that it don't work like that in pro sports? Because every other player is seeing this. They're like, why would I want to deal with this franchise? They didn't even take care of one of their own. I'm good. And then the penalty is now you really have to draft well and develop, but you're in that franchise, so you can't even identify it. Because if you could, Soto wouldn't even be on. Man, the blank check would have been out. It should have been out. I don't know what it is about this area, man. It's just damn, I'm trying to figure it out. What cloud we got over us though? Like I mean, get it fine. Tommy's smart enough to be like, I ain't about to be that dude. So he gave Bill the max. Cool. I get it. But you lose this dude, you're gonna be fourth in your own backyard, like of relevance. Behind the Capitals, behind the Wizards, and behind the Commanders or whatever the hell they call themselves these days. They're like, you gotta take care of your own, man. Like it's ridiculous, man. And the thing is, my man is saying, like, yo, I want to stay, but they talking about trading me, but that's on them, man. His agent's supposed to work those deals, man. And that's really the agent's got job, to be the in-between. Because see, the agent is hearing the front office say those things that the actions are showing, like, yo, we don't think he worth all that. So he's the buffer to be like, look, just give him the, you know what I'm saying to me, not all the potatoes and all that go with it. Because if he really came back and said, hey, man, they talking about, man, look, you ain't worth all that, then he definitely gonna be like, I'm out. Like, I'm good. So that's why he in a, kind of like, yo, I want to be here. I've been here my whole career, but don't pay that man what he deserves, though. He's balling. And like you said, there's no salary cap, right? So what's the point? So now you're gonna watch him go up, like you said, the Yankees up there doing the Birdman hand rub, Magic out west, he doing the Birdman hand rub, all these things. Hell, I wouldn't even be shocked if the Red Sox doing it. Some of those big time teams that consistently win doing the Birdman hand rub, and they just like, we gonna be quiet. We'll see what it is when it's time, dog. It just makes no sense, man.
Because like for them, yeah, I'll empty my farm system. Who cares? He's 23.
Yes.
You can take the building with the youngsters in it. I don't give it. Like, who cares? He's 23. And as a Scott Boras client.
Yeah, he don't play around, dog. Nope. Yeah, he definitely, yeah. Oh man, we're gonna move to the NBA side again. Jerry West threw some shade at the Nets in a recent interview. They asked him about the trade, James Harden forcing a trade, obviously Kyrie, and then KD requesting a trade. And Clippers executive Jerry West simply stated for him to win out. I can see why. But again, wherever he goes, or to my best guess, he's not going to get traded. You can't get enough to get a guy like him. Ray, yeah, we're gonna start with you. What do you read between the lines? What do you think the logo was saying when he said, "I can see why"?
Pretty much saying they are a poorly run franchise. I mean, that's what I gathered from it. And I mean, over the last couple of years, he's probably right. I mean, you bring guys in, you do whatever they ask, and now at the end, you want to play hardball. It's too late. You should have did that from jump. Like I'm sure they didn't think it would go this way. They probably thought, oh, we got Harden, Kyrie, and KD together. We gonna get a chip or two out of this. They probably thought, it was worth it. But now, Harden's not there. We all know what went on with Kyrie last year, and they got swept out the playoffs. Now they're like, we're not getting a proper return on our investment and trying to walk it back. It's too late, man. You already set the precedent that them dudes run the franchise. So, you either clean house and start over or just deal with it. To your point, KD's probably going to be in the Nets uniform this season. He's under contract. They don't have to trade him. And again, he did make a point. You need a massive haul to get it in order to get rid of KD. Like you always say, Cardell, it's a handful of guys that when they move, the league fill it, and KD is on that short list. So you're not just going to take anything just to get them off your hands. That's just not intelligent. But yeah, man, they've been working against their best interest for the last couple of years, to put it mildly. And they're not the only franchise. This era is just leans to a lot of front offices having to bend for players a lot more, but that's going to come to an end because of situations like this. I mean, yeah, when they made those moves, I know for a fact they weren't envisioning one of the players not being here anymore, and the most success is a second round playoff exit. Like I know that's not what they had on the menu. So yeah, but again, they set the standard for what it would, for what that tenure would look like. You know, they gave them everything up front, and now they're in a position that they don't like. But it's too late now. You know, yeah, you can try to clean house, but it's not looking too good. So you made your bed, now lie in it. I don't feel sorry at all. Their owner is a billionaire. I'm sure he'll sleep good tonight.
Well,
Oh yeah, he just called them poverty for the way they move, and that's all. Just poverty franchises doing poverty franchise stuff. And you know, one thing about the logo I always appreciate it. He doesn't sugarcoat anything, man. He doesn't waste any time getting to anything. Anytime he talks, he gets straight to the point. And yeah, and I think what we're gonna watch, you know, Cardell, you always talk about it. One of your famous things when anytime because the Wizards do this, uncomfortable conversations. I'm sure being had right now in that office over there, in the front offices over there, because look, man, you got to place dudes on a 4-year deal. You can't just move them and not get, you know, it's going to be hard to get just compensation for them. You're here now. And for everything that Ray already laid out, it's a different thing if we saw what it looks like where we saw join the team and go to state where adults from the top to the bottom. Wasn't it? Yeah, you ain't worried about all this type of stuff like this. Then you see here. You let them run amok. And then, like Ray said, you can't turn around and be like, okay, kids, we're gonna take back all your privileges. Nah, they're looking at you like you're unserious. And that's also them. They're unserious as well. Because, like you said, right, you got a second round playoffs. That's it. But the type of talent you put around, not to mention pre-Harden trade, you had a better team. Like you had a nice core around those two. But you're here now, and I love Jerry West, man. That's all I got. I truly appreciate every time he has something to say.
yeah, for me, it's like it's substitute teacher vibes. You know what I'm saying? You just act a fool because it's a different teacher because you know you can get away with it. The bottom line is you can't kiss ass. You know what I'm saying? Look, you can work with the players to a certain point, but it's like we're not doing this. You know, actually one story is I read in a book, you know, Ray Auerbach autobiography when you know, he was trying to get the contract negotiations when he was drafting Larry Bird. You know, he met with Larry Bird and his representation. Bird ain't say nothing, but his representation was doing all the talking. So they told him the dollar amount, and Ray Auerbach was like, fine, which was like at the time the highest salary for any rookie ever. But then they added more to pot, like the Celtics had to pay for a flight for Larry Bird's mother to come in any game she won, get her a house, all this extra stuff and all that. So Ray Auerbach, being who he is like, look, I already made this man the highest paid rookie ever. He ain't played the game for him. That's my way of stating his value. We not doing none of that other stuff you talking about, man. So you need to take the deal or just bounce. So the agent looked at Bird being a real one, he respected the honesty, the bluntness. So he was just like, gave him a head nod, like, all right, yeah, we good. And that was that. You see what I'm saying? Of course they're going to try. Of course the agent going to try to get everything they can, man. But you be like, look at it, man. No. Because at the end of the day, we outside maybe bringing some fans and say, what has KD and Kyrie done for that franchise? When you think about it. So what do we get here? That's what happens when you're blinded by you sharing the market with the Knicks and you trying to just take over and you more focused on taking over New York instead of running that joint like a stable franchise. That's what West was basically saying because Jerry West would be like, hell no. Nah. And 1, 2, y'all not about to dictate what coach we bring in. We gonna bring in the coach we feel is best to coach this team. You brought in a substitute teacher to coach, man. And it's no disrespect to Steve Nash. He had no experience coaching. Y'all mess with him because, you know, he worked with KD and go to state. And he's a former player. And y'all feel, you know, on that BS, like, man, former players know more than them. And clearly they don't all the time. You know what I'm saying? Some do, some don't. It's a case by case scenario. So you in the situation you're in right now. I just felt like it's just too much betting. Now you want to come back and be a strong, be just strong arm. It's like the coach who's lax players coach, and now he want to come back and be all disciplinary and everything like that. Of course, the players can like F that. We ain't dealing with that, and they're gonna rebel. Either way, it's a toxic environment, and y'all never gonna get to accomplish what y'all set out to do, which is win. And I agree with Jerry West. Do I think they're going to be moved? No. Because see, this is where the Nets can really start to kind of regain control moving forward or whatnot. We ain't bending to y'all no more, man. Y'all either going to hoop or not. And I don't see KD being the type where he's not going to hoop because he love the game so much. So you got to be a professional. Kyrie damn sure got it too because his value around the league is so bad that teams are not going to want to deal with him. Plus, KD's 34. That's really the situation why it's hard to move him even if you wanted to. Not only his history of jumping teams after a couple of years, you know what I'm saying, but two, he's 34. You might got 2-3 good years at this level left. And then what? And that's if you don't suffer a major injury, which he's been battling the last few years. You got to look at it. So, like, I'm not mad at the Nets. They're doing something smart. When teams call, you look, the reports are they asking for everything. I need first round picks till 2,300, like forever, though. Like y'all gonna be, yeah. Y'all want this dude? This is how it's gotta be. And then it's so outrageous. Teams like nah. So what's best for the Nets is stand pat, and this is how you really send the league, not just them, but the league a message like y'all ain't gonna do this to us no more. Hey, y'all figure it out. We'll be sitting up in the sleep watching. And I don't even look. Kyrie, KD call. I don't even want to hear it, dog. And if you sit out, that's fine. We're going to recoup some of that money. And then we can start the rebuilding process. That's just how it is, man. So let this be a lesson. I know a lot of suits are in the front office in the NBA across the league, and a lot of businesses, contract details, business stuff is done this way where you kiss a lot of ass, make people feel good, stroke their ego. That don't work in sports. You gotta say what you mean what you say, man. Set that standard and live by it and stand by it. At least if it don't go well, you can look in the mirror and be like, all right, it ain't go well. You sell your soul when it don't go well, it's harder to sleep at night. So that's basically what they're dealing with. Last but not least, NFL. Justin Jefferson already established himself as one of the NFL's best wide receivers after just 2 seasons in the league. The Viking star said it won't be long before he's considered the very best at his position. Jefferson praised Davante Adams as the NFL's best receiver during a recent interview with Complex, but added that he's pretty sure after this year it's going to be me. He said, I'll say after this year, I'll be the best receiver in the NFL. I definitely have to give it to Davante Adams as of now. Him being so crazy and dynamic on the field, his route running is crazy. So I definitely have to give it to him right now, but I'm pretty sure after this year it's going to be me. Jefferson, 23, has enjoyed a record-breaking start to his NFL career. He finished with a rookie record 1,400 receiving yards in 2020, a mark surpassed last season by former LSU teammate Jamar Chase, who finished with 1,455 yards, and his 3,016 career receiving yards are the most in league history for any player in his first 2 seasons. Despite the accolades Jefferson told Complex, he is always working on my game and said he is excited to play in first-year head coach Kevin O'Connell's offense. Wilson, what are your thoughts on Mr. Jefferson's comments?
Oh, I have no issue with what he said, honestly. Like, yeah, I like that he's still giving respect to Davante because Davante is a very, very bad man. So I'm happy that the kid still has sense because there's other kids his age that would have said something outlandish without even being like, because my first thing would be like, right, I've been a fan of yours since college. However, Davante exists. He's alive. He's still breathing. He's in his prime. So the fact that he can say that, check mark for that, right? Then the rest of it, he checked all the boxes. I have no issue with it. And he's on pace, right? He's on pace. So I'm not gonna knock it at all. With Kevin O'Connell being their coach, he should probably get the ball a little bit more. Because right now, no disrespect to Adam Thielen. I like to live in a place where we just be honest. Jefferson's been wide receiver 1 since he got there, and they had the luxury of fumbling Stephon Diggs and getting another marquee wide receiver at a young age in the first round. A lot of teams don't have that luxury. We would just be like, man, y'all fumbled Stephon Diggs away. What were y'all thinking? However, things have worked out where they went in that draft. Sorry, Octavius Eagles, and they made sure that they got a hell of a player at wide receiver. Look, man, the kids. You mentioned some of the numbers. Think about anytime you start a career and people's throwing Randy's name early in terms of how fast you start, you're in good company, man. You're off to a hell of a start. I hope the kid reaches it. That's like I'm rooting for him. Have no issue with what he said.
Right.
Yeah, I love him, man. I'm on the same boat as Wilson. I got no problem with it. If he acknowledged, what's out there with him, he's not, his comments don't seem to be coming from a place of arrogance at all, because you laid out the resume. Like some guys with that don't even sniff that production, saying that's just white noise. But it's some validity to what he's saying, man, because of the work he's put in so far. And and it sounds like he clearly has a target. He recognized Devontae as the best, but he's saying, hey, this year, by the end of this year, y'all gonna be talking about me in that light. So and he acknowledged he's still working on his game. So yeah, man, it just sounds like a confident kid that knows what he's capable of and is willing to put in the work. So yeah, I'm just anxious to see the results at this point. But yeah, man, in order to perform the way he's performed, you have to have that mindset. You can't walk out and not be totally confident in yourself. And he has just reason to be. So yeah, man, I got no issue with it.
Yeah, I'm with both of y'all, man. The results speak for itself. That's just how I roll. It's a results-based world in my eyes, and he's first 2 years. No one has had the better first 2 years in their career ever, and that includes the GOAT, Jerry Rice. Even though he was playing in a different time, different era, where they ran the ball more than went to passing, but still, what he's done has been exceptional. I'm glad he's in the NFC. Away from me. Y'all deal, y'all deal with him. That's y'all business. But I love wide receivers, man. You know what I'm saying? But I like what he's doing as youngest. Like y'all said, a lot of youngest don't respect who's already established and who came before them. They're very disrespectful these days. It's just they be feeling themselves too much, man. And he gave props where it's due. It's just like, all right, that's a bad dude. You know what I'm saying? I got a little bit more work to do, but I'm not far behind, dog. So I'm trying to take over that number one spot. You know what I'm saying? And the results show that's real. It's just the truth. He's not saying some wild stuff, man. You know what I mean? I do this and do that, and it's like, where's the evidence to prove that that's possible? So you just gotta give him props where it's due, man. Excited to see how he takes another step, because this is usually the year where high impact young players really take that lead, where it's like, I'm here. Like, yeah, y'all gonna be seeing me on Pro Bowls and all pro lists next 10 to 12 minimum. Get used to the name. So, just respecting him. I like his, like Ray said, man, you gotta have that mindset. Even if the world, well, who cares what the world say? Because I'm pretty sure the world was saying he wouldn't make it to the NFL in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So he's there. You got to have that mindset, because how you going to reach for the stars with, ground level mindset? You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes no sense. So he got to think he's up there, but not at the top of the stars, the best star to reach it. And he's working towards that. So all he got to do is just produce, and that includes winning. You know what I'm saying? He got to win. If they win enough games and he producing like he does, gotta tip your hat to him.
Yeah, he's one of the youngsters, makes it real easy to root for. Sports very, very easy. Makes it extremely easy. I want to thank y'all for spending time with us this week. As always, follow us on all of our social media mediums. I got more Kenner League this week, some DC United this week, some Mystics this week. Mystics Outlook, Kenner League recaps, some DC United stuff as well. Then we'll be back next week, same time, same place. As always, don't forget, you can watch Focus TV weekly Wednesday mornings on our Roku channel. If you have a Roku television or device, all you have to do is type in the search box, the Focus TV, double tap OK on your remote, and you added the channel. For those of you that watch via DC TV, all you have to do Friday nights, 10 p.m. Watch the show live. If you're in the city, you can just look for it in your local listings. If not, you can go to dctv.org and watch the show there. Also, check out dctv.org to see when the show re-airs throughout the weekend. For Cardell, Ray, and myself, y'all have a great week.